All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 21 of the online AWD 1100 C# programming class. I wanted to start by, I should have said this yesterday, and I did not, and that is that I got an email over the weekend from one of the students in the class saying, hey, for the chapter 11, um, written test, there were a bunch of questions that are, I shouldn't even say questions, there were about 5 or 6 things on there. I think it was like 11 to 15 or something like that in chapter 11 that had answers but no questions. And I went back and looked at the version I got from the author, and I gave you what I got from the author, which meant that was missing. So I went back to an earlier version of the book, version 7, and found the test from chapter 11 for that, and I gave that to you. So that's the one you're supposed to be doing. That's first thing. Then today, as you should all know, all right, today you are taking the hands-on test that I sent out to you this morning. We're going to go over it in just a moment. All right. Tomorrow we will begin our foray, or our we're going to start looking at object-oriented programming. We'll look at some concepts, how object-oriented programming fits into C#, and we'll start to take a look at chapter 12. My guess is that we'll spend most, if not all, of next week on chapter 12. Let's see how it goes. All right. Finally, again, we're going to go over the test now. The test is due by midnight tonight. And your chapters 9 through 11 homework are also due by midnight tonight. Some people have already turned that homework in, and that's great. All right. So let's talk about the test. First of all, as it says, you're supposed to write this and save the project as Hot4 Card Store GUI, and the application itself, the project should be called Card Designer GUI. It allows the user to design a card. Now, you probably have already figured this out, but both of these that are here, both of these are drop-down lists. I'm going to show you actually my running program in just a moment. Now it says you can select from 3 or more occasions. I think I put 4 in there. And you can have 3 or more styles for each occasion. So let's say that you've got 3 occasions: thank you, sympathy, and birthday. And let's say that you have 3 different styles: style 1, style 2, and style 3 for each one. That's a total of 9 possibilities. Thank you style 1, thank you style 2, thank you style 3. Graduation style 1, graduation style 2, graduation style 3, and maybe sympathy style 1, sympathy style 2, and sympathy style 3. When you choose something with this top drop-down list, it should immediately change what's in your bottom drop-down list. I'm going to show you mine, like I said, in just a minute. All right. In addition, there's 3 checkboxes here. The user can click 0, any 1, any 2, or all 3. If they select none, and if you use this one right here, forgetting these are even checked, the cost would be $1.25. Notice they're all checked though, so it would be $1.25 plus 25, which is $1.50, plus 50, which is $2, plus 30, which gives you $2.30. All right. Now, I put constant after all these because you really should set up a constant for each one of these variables. So you can have a constant called envelope, make it a decimal that's worth 0.25 m, a constant called stamp, give it a value of 0.5 m, and one called custom or custom message or whatever, and make that 0.3 m. Now I'm looking on here, it says the user can choose a custom message for 25 cents, and down here it says 30. Just be consistent. This really should have said 30. All right. I grabbed this from a test that somebody else had made. Hey, it's my fault. That's fine. Make it 30. All right. And I will send out an email to everyone a little later on that as well. The user can only enter a custom message if this box is checked. So if this box is not checked, you can't go in here. All right, good morning. So again, I'm going through the test now. And as it says, the project itself, it says, please save the project. I don't care, just give it some hot for card store, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right. Have 3 or more occasions that go into this drop-down list right here. I'm going to show you mine in a moment. I've got 4. I don't know why I put in 4, but I did. Each one of these occasions should have 3 or more styles. Now, you don't have to say something like tree or whatever. Mine will just say like, thank you style 1, thank you style 2, thank you style 3, something like that. Each card should have a different base cost. I've got 4 of them. I made them $3.50, $3, $2.50, and $2. All right, again, you'll see it in just a moment. These check boxes, these variables that are with these check boxes here, they should all be constant. So you should have a constant called envelope that's set to 0.25 M, a constant called stamp that is set to 0.5 M, and a constant called custom or custom message or whatever you want to call it that's set to 0.3 M. All right. And I just changed this because this said 25, but it says 30 here. We should be consistent. So let's make it 30. If for some reason you make yours 25, it's not like I'm going to take off for it if everything else is right. The user can only enter something into here if this box is checked. Here's a hint for you. Don't make that a label because you can't write in a label. All right, you can't write in a label when the program's running. All right, you can, but it involves you just putting in code. For what we want to do, it makes no sense. You can preview the custom message on the card. If you want, you can put that in here like they've done it. I just put mine in as a message box. You can do it either way. And the application should correctly calculate the card cost at all times. Now, I didn't realize how big I'd made this, but that's a button that says calculate. When you click it, it should add this, plus this if it's checked, plus this if it's checked, plus this if it's checked, and that should be your total. All right, as far as the grading, I've asked you to create a splash screen. All right, I literally, just to show you, I'll run mine for you. So mine comes up. There's my splash screen. I literally got that from Google Images. It's not mine. All right, but that's my splash screen. And you'll notice I can go right from here either to the main form or I can exit. And if I go to the other one, I can also go back to home. All right. So says not shown, design an opening form that welcomes readers to the card store. The form is to include some kind of an image. I just showed you mine. It's the first form that's displayed. Call it the home form, whatever you want. There must be a button on there. All right. There must be a button on this form to get to the card designer form. And there must be a button on the card designer form that lets you get back to the home form. Again, I'll show you mine in a second. The controls should be laid out rather as they are right here. Label, drop-down list or combo box, drop-down list or combo box. 3 check boxes. I'll tell you right now, I used a text box multi-line for this. Picture box, label, button there. There should be another button over here too that says home or something like that on it. The calculate button is way too big. All right. Make sure that you rename your form, that you set the accept button, you set the cancel button, the start location, and the tab order. All right. And I'm talking about for the main form, do that stuff. All right. The control name should follow our naming conventions. We've talked about this several times. Text boxes should start with TXT, labels with LBL, buttons with BTN, combo boxes typically with like CB for combo, CBO if you want. All right. Drop down lists, either CBO or DDL. Sometimes people use that. All right. I think we've hit all of them. Variables and constants used. I already mentioned those three places that you can use constants for the envelope cost, for the cost of a custom message, and for the stamp cost. The program must be modularized. I don't want everything inside of buttons and combo boxes. I want you to call routines from there. The occasion dropdown should be configured and implemented correctly. Now it says example no entry. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Same thing with the style dropdown. The message section should be configured and implemented correctly. Users, again, should be able to select from a minimum of 3 occasions. If you want, you can use the one shown right there, birthday, anniversary, and graduation. If you don't like those, you want to use sympathy or something else, use those. The user can select from at least 3 different styles for each card. The base cost is calculated and displayed correctly. The cost of the stamp is properly basically added to your cost and displayed correctly. Same with the stamp, same with the custom message. The total is correct. Users can only enter a custom message if the checkbox is checked. And users can preview their custom message on the card. So with all that said, let me run mine for you. So here's the main form. So the occasion, I'm going to say, let's use the top one, birthday. Notice when I do that, I now have birthday card 01, I have birthday card 02, and I have birthday card 03. Let's assume I choose this one right here. All right. Now I'm going to add to that an envelope. So it's now $3.75. So if I click calculate, oops, I cut that off. Oh, brother. But it says, well, I'll show it to you in a second. $3.75. I added this button here and foolishly I made this too big. So stamp, now it would be $4.25. And custom message, it would be $4.55. I want you to see this because I did to it and I did it correctly. So let me quickly show you this. In fact, let me do it like this. Come on. Let's see. I'm going to take this cost that's right here and I'm going to make the writing in there half the size that it is. Like, well, that's a little too small, but that's okay. At least you should be able to see it now, hopefully. So again, if I come in here, go to the main form and choose, let's say, graduation. And again, I've got 3 graduation styles. I choose this one. And I choose envelope and I click calculate. Now it says $3.25. If I add a stamp to it and click calculate, it's now $3.75. If I have graduation and I click message, it's now $4.05. All right. And anytime I come up here and I change, you notice how this blanks out. All right. It would have been better, I guess. I should have added this too to uncheck all of these. All right. So if I go to birthday, again, I've got 3 different styles. If I go to sympathy, I've got 3 different styles. If I go to thank you, I've got 3 different styles. All right. So if I use the thank you here, it's $2 with nothing chosen. And I click calculate, it's $2. Notice if I click in here right now, the custom message isn't chosen, so I can't do anything. But if I come up here and I click custom message, now I can click in here and I can just say, thank you so much for your kindness. All right, now when I do that and I click calculate, it first comes up with a message box, custom message. Thank you so much for your kindness. And I click OK, and there's my cost. $2.30, $2, and neither of those are checked, so $2.30. If you'd rather add I don't like putting a control in a control, but if you'd rather come into this picture box and add a label down at the bottom and put it there instead of like the way I did it with a message box, you can do it either way. All right. I believe I've shown you everything on here. I could be mistaken. If you have any questions as you're doing this, please feel free to email me. Again, this is due by midnight tonight. I want everybody in the class to turn this in by midnight. Even if you have problems with it, please turn it in by midnight. I don't want it tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, Friday. I want it today. All right. I'm going to be here by the computer all day. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see if some of you have actually turned in the homework for chapters 9, 10, and 11. And with some of you, I've graded it already. I'm going to continue grading it. I'll do the best I can to make sure that by Monday's class, not tomorrow, but by Monday, I both have your test graded and your homework graded. All right. So as we go into chapter 12 next week, I'll be up to date, and so will you, exactly on where you stand in the class. Again, any questions, email me, jpscott@rankin.edu. If you get the test finished and it's not too late, all right, please try to at least page through chapter 12. If not by tomorrow, do it over the weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about object-oriented programming in general, then look at some examples that we'll just write on our own for using it with C#. All right, and then we'll go into chapter 12. All right, so with that said, I'm going to stop right here. This thing I'm taping right now, it literally will be out should be out on the internet on my YouTube channel by 8:30 this morning. Good luck. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thanks.